I got something good for you. Dealerships can't shift EVs. Around 4,000 American auto dealerships have signed an open letter asking the federal government to moderate its EV adoption targets because they are struggling to offload an excess supply of electric vehicles, despite EV sales hitting record highs. They currently have over a 90-day supply of EVs, only a 30-day supply of internal combustion engine vehicles, and a mere 2-week supply of hybrid electric vehicles. Tesla, leading seller of EVs, is not included in these numbers due to its direct-to-consumer model. There's a bunch of other stuff in here, but my point is I was right. Chevy Volt.
Dude, yeah, the hybrid electric. I want a hybrid electric Acura TL. I would be so happy.
Back when I bought the Volt, the only reason I bought it was that the traditional car companies, Honda, do you know how many Honda Clarities they allegedly, this is just based on hearsay from a random Honda dealer, so I don't know if it's accurate or not, but apparently it was like less than 20 Clarities
that. I thought it was like 4.
Entire model year.
Yeah.
And I think it was a lot less than that, but I am going higher than what I recall just to make sure that's a greater chance that it's right.
Yeah.
It was like nothing. I've seen like 2 on the road ever. It was the car I wanted to buy, because it has the advantages of EV. I get to drive in the HOV lane. I get to not burn gas on my daily commute. And it has the advantages of a gasoline car in that I can go long distances and quickly refuel without having to worry about finding public charging infrastructure. It was so obvious, but only because I happened to be a tech nerd and did a whole bunch of research into it, and I am pragmatic to a fault.
Most people that I know of like good hybrids like the Volt, most people that I know don't know about good hybrids like the Volt.
Yeah. And the problem is that the dealers apparently just had no idea what was going on, and people didn't understand it. I remember talking to this other guy at a dealer who was like, yeah, this guy traded in his Volt. And I was like talking to him about it, and he was like, yeah, sorry, what? I just put gas in it the whole time. He drove it for years. And I'm sitting here going, are you kidding me? Just it doesn't even have to be in your garage. You could just run an extension cord. It comes with a charger that just plugs into the wall. There's literally no reason in BC, Canada.
Free real estate.
There is no reason not to use the cheap electric power that we have.
Yeah, it's like the only thing we have going for us.
And it's
financially.
Like Toyota figured it out. Like the Prius Prime sucked the first couple generations. I shouldn't say it sucked, but the range was not enough. Not enough for my daily commute, not enough for a lot of people's. And so you'd have to put gas in it on a very, very regular basis. I believe the latest model has way better all-electric range, and the RAV4 Prime is killing it. I have no idea how long the wait list is for that thing now, but it was just, everyone was going, oh, the problem with gas is, it's just gas emissions now and forever, and gas is super expensive and blah, blah, blah. And the problem with all electric is the range and these batteries that are so costly and environmentally devastating to extract from the earth. If only there was some solution, but there isn't. And it was staring them in the face the whole time.
And not to single out a person, but a person 123 on Flowplane said, the big problem with plug-in sorry, my throat's still a little bit messed up, but the big problem with plug-in hybrids is you have the cost and weight of both drivetrains. Not really, my dude.
Not quite, because you also don't have the weight of all those batteries, and you also don't need the same kind of chutzpah in your ICE drivetrain, right?
And you're not running it.
Because that's the thing, like the Volt, for all of its being generally a very boring dad car, actually not that bad right off the line because it uses the battery. It uses the electric motors. And the Volt's a weird one because it's technically an EV with an onboard gasoline generator.
Yeah.
Right? But like at the end of the day, I sort of don't really care how you do it. Yeah. As a consumer, all I care about is, well, I've got enough power that I can pass someone if I need to.
And they can be very efficient. Very, very efficient. You're talking about the weight. They can be crazy efficient.
Even if you are peak dumb and never plug in your Volt, it is a crazy efficient gasoline car.
Yeah.
It's just way too expensive because you paid for a bunch of batteries that you're not using because you're a big dum-dum.
That was dumb. But the like plug-in hybrid Priuses, crazy efficient. The plug-in hybrid Volts, crazy efficient. I'm not worried about the extra weight.
Yeah, and I remember talking about this back when we were going into the pandemic. GM canceled the Volt at the worst possible time. They would have sold so many Volts because the big problem with it was that it was expensive with a value proposition that was difficult for people to understand. And then all of a sudden, cars were just generally more expensive, so they could have made margin on it, and gasoline went through the roof.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, whoops. Like they would have sold thousands and thousands and thousands of them.
Yep.
GM hates money, says William Comartin. Yeah, I know, right? It's like they try to make the worst possible decisions. I just don't know how to deal with it. Like, to be clear, I'm not like a fan or anything. I don't care, but just that car, it just made so much sense. It just made so much sense. And it's validating, I guess, to see everyone going, well, this makes sense. Yeah, that's why they only have 2 weeks of stock of hybrid electric vehicles, because they're so awesome. They're a great middle ground. Yeah, people are not into GM and their decisions in general.
I am into plug-in hybrids, though. I would like to eventually have one. That's the only thing I feel like I'm lacking with my car. Literally.
Love my Volt so much that after I replaced it, I bought it from myself. Seriously, the company owns it now, and we just use it to run little errands.
Which makes a ton of sense.
Perfect for that.
Because again, the plug-in hybrid, it's going to be borderline free to drive back and forth between the office buildings. It's going to be borderline free to run into town and grab something and come back. And then if it needs to run really far,
then it can.
No problem.
We have to go pick up a CRT in the interior of BC because we don't want to ship it for whatever.
Send it. No problem. Super efficient.
Yep.
Comfortable. Easy going.
At Linus, that car made no sense on Transformers. Like
what?
The movie?
What?
The Volt was in Transformers?
I believe so.
Okay, that... really?
Why?
Chevy Volt Transformers. That is not how I might have promoted it.
Get a supercar? No.
Oh, wow.
I can't afford that.
Jolt. This was okay. This was a huge problem for Chevy. They had the Bolt, okay, which was like an entry-level EV. They had the Volt, which was a completely different car, like plug-in hybrid vehicle. And now, I'm only just learning about this, they had Jolt, a character from Transformers that is a Volt. Are you kidding me?
That's really stupid. It also looks really stupid. Like the Transformer looks dumb.
I'm sad now. Very sad.
They like Nintendo Wii U'd this car. Like what?
Looks like Bumblebee, but dumber.
Yeah. I thought that like
Bumblebee's
translucent blue thing under him was like his beard.
Their flying electric vehicle called the Molt. Yeah, exactly. That's what.
It's really close to Moltres.